Alright, welcome back to a Reviewtube Halloween, bitches! I don't know what you are! I don't know what you are! I don't know what you are! Mega Punch! Also Mega Punch! Ow! You actually hurt me there! I mean... Ow! You dick! We'll be right back. Roll the opening. I said roll the opening, damn it! I'm Jake and this is Mood. Mood. Say hi, bud. But here's a Poliwhirl. Well, a stuffed version of a Poliwhirl. I can't tell if he's a living doll or actually a Pokemon. Anyways. It's hypnotic, isn't it? Anyways. But here's my new sidekick. After my old one went to Reno and then got arrested for shooting a man just to see him die. Our little misunderstanding at the beginning actually reminds me of a film. Ironically, today's subject. Not too ironically. Okay, you have a point there. I did kind of stage this. I need to redo the opening. Well, not entirely unintentional. I mean, come on, man. Man. But didn't you pay me $5? Let's move on to the review. And Bud, why don't you go get me a soda? Okay, I will. Alright. So, today's subject. Starring Alan Tudyk, who you may know from TV's Firefly, Suburgatory, and as the squat guy who wanted to be the bad guy in Frozen. And Adam Levine. I think that's his name, I'm honestly not sure. Who is on Reaper. They play Tucker and Dale, two good old boys who never mean no harm. But all they ever saw was he's been in trouble with a stupid preppy kid since this movie began. You see, a bunch of preppy college students are on their way to party and fuck in the woods. Tucker and Dale, meanwhile, are also headed to the woods to hang out at Tucker's vacation home. An old shack that was clearly used for murder, but not that our protagonists would notice that since they apparently can't tell their ass from their elbow. But when it comes to that. But they're still good-natured guys. Unfortunately, there leaves some bad first impressions involving Dale trying to hit on a girl while holding a giant scythe, and the leader of the preppies being a giant dickbag put a damper on things. Things only get worse when Allison, the girl Dale tried to pick up, but was too hampered by his own insecurities to do so. Things get worse when Allison, a girl... The two groups start off on the wrong foot when they run into each other at the gas station. The preppies, especially their leader Chad, who's a ginormous The preppies, especially their leader Chad, who's a humongous dickwad. The preppies, especially their leader Chad, who's a humongous dickwad, instantly assume the hillbillies are creepy murderers, not helped by when Dale tries to pick up Allison, one of the college kids, but his awkwardness combined with the fact he was holding a huge fucking scythe kind of put a damper on things. Things only get worse when the college kids decide to have a skinny dipping party, and Tucker and Dale save Allison, but are assumed to be kidnapping. What follows is a lot of college kids getting themselves killed, and two hillbillies trying to stop them, trying not to get blamed for it. As you can tell, as you horror fans in the audience can probably tell, this film's a satirization of a genre TV tropes dubbed hillbilly horrors, where backwoods rednecks try to murder a bunch of unlikable pricks. It also makes fun of the trend of having horror movies following a bunch of unlikable douchebags before they die. Instead of the annoying college kids, the heroes are just two good old boys who are just really nice and friendly, and through a comedy of errors. The movies, as you savvy horror fans, you have probably guessed in the audience, as you savvy horror fans in the audience have probably already guessed, this movie's a satirization of the hillbilly horror genre. Basically, a bunch of obnoxious douchebags go into the woods. They don't come out, usually murdered by inbred hillbillies. Instead, the obnoxious douchebags are the antagonists, as they should be, and the heroes are just two lovable morons, and one of whom's not even that stupid. He just thinks he is. And a college girl who really isn't as much of a preppy as the film as she thought. The acting, despite not really being a horror watcher, I got the satire and loved it. I have seen a few reviews of films with that premise, and one or two films with a bunch of douchebags who are just there to be slaughtered. And it's a pitch-perfect satire of the genre. It's also funny. I mean, a lot of people get impaled, but it's in a very hilarious, well-done way. The characters are also very strong. Well, admittedly, most of the college kids are... Okay, all of the college kids, other than Chad and Allison, are interchangeable other than looks. That's pretty much the idea. The idea and part of the genre they're satirizing. Tucker and Dale are both very strong. Now, Tucker being a very, very nice, charismatic guy, while also being very simple in his pleasures. While Dale's, as I said, is a lot smarter than he thinks, and his wits end up saving the day more than once. Allison's an okay character. She really doesn't seem to react to the fact her friends are dying in Marseille, though, to be fair, the film would be severely bogged down by that, and she's purely there to be Dale's loved interest and the damsel distress in the finale. Chad, and here's a huge spoiler, is the villain of the piece. Chad works on both levels. He's an annoying douchebag you want to see die, like the genre. This is spoofing, but it actually works here. He's the bad guy. You want to see the bad guy kick it in a horror movie, unless he's really fucking cool. Or you even want to see the bad guy kick it in a movie. I mean, granted, this is a horror movie, so you usually don't see the bad guy kick it for long, But in most movies you want to see, but that's okay. He's the evil in the title. He's what needs to be triumphed over. He's the psychopathic prick who has some sort of weird hillbilly racism. But at the same time, the fact he's actively enforcing a lot of cliches, he's advising against getting the police, smashing someone's cell phone, is both funny, but also works plot-wise, because you can tell he's really just wanting them to go try and kill Tucker and Dale and sort of mob mentality thing, because he's a messed up prick. He's also scary in the climax, but I'd rather you find out why yourself. But trust me, Chad is a well-acted, well-done character, and so are Tucker and Dale. The horror aspects are mostly absent until the finale. The finale, it can be very frightening and is well done, in my opinion. But for the most part, it's a comedy. And on that front, Tucker and Dale is an extremely good comedy. I'd highly recommend it, and it's fastly become one of the... It may even be one of my favorite films, I'm not sure. Overall, Tucker and Dale is a wonderful, fantastic film. Watch it as soon as you can. Tucker and Dale is available on Blu-ray and Netflix. And if you don't have Netflix, I'd highly suggest getting it. Next time I'll be reviewing The Frighteners, which has become one of my favorite films of all time since watching it the other day. But tune in next time to find out why. I'm Jacob Mattingly. Until next time, courage. Hello? Jake, I got your soda. I mean, it's all in my belly. I mean, the can and everything, but I got it. Hello?